let's see. I doubt you can hear me over the track, so apologies. But I'll be right with you, folks. Hang right on just for a minute. All right. Let me go ahead and mute that real quick. No, that's not what I need to mute. I need to do that. There you go. All right. Hold just for a second, my friends. All right, look good there. Switch on over here. I think I'll do it that way. All right. Howdy, folks. Oh, no, wrong one. Ha! It's been just a little over a week, and I'm already super rusty. There we go. Hi, folks. I'm Cody with IronVerse Comics, and I've had too much caffeine. I hope you're doing well. Usually I try to do these Wednesdays, but I just couldn't yesterday. Just how it is. But I'm here. I'm trying to make sure I keep it weekly. So we're doing that at least. This is number 8. I'm pretty happy about that. Means about 2 months I've been able to keep it relatively consistent. Tuesday, Wednesday, or in this case Thursday. I'm trying to lock it down to Wednesdays, but again, yesterday it just wasn't going to happen. So here we are, right? I hope you folks are well. I usually say you folks are well this new comic book day, but maybe you've read some more because new comic book day was yesterday. Let me know in chat, of course, as this is What You're Reading, and we're going to be talking about what I have been reading, and hopefully maybe a little bit of what you've been reading. Let me know in chat. And just don't forget to say howdy. Go ahead and turn on my chat bot for the hell of it. Forgot to do that. You know, I have that intro, right? It takes a little bit. And I use that usually to promote, and I should use it to open that as well, but forgot today. All right, well, stack of reads here. We'll end up talking about those. Relatively consistent. You've been watching these as they come. I've been reading Battle Angel Alita for a long time, trying to catch up. I'm actually almost there. I'm almost current. This last bit's been harder. I would actually be current. Well, relatively. No, I'd be current. If these last few volumes hadn't been such a drag. So we'll get to that. here pretty quick. And of course, I'm still reading Scott McCloud's. Was it Making Comics this time? Yeah, Making Comics, and almost through that finally after weeks and weeks. It's a slow grind because a lot of it it's technical. It's not so dry, and it's very respectful, but it's technical compared to what Understanding Comics was, and I really liked Understanding Comics. So it's been a while and hard to get through that. And of course, every what you're reading, there's at least one Gru issue, and again, there's two today. There might have been two or three last week. So good stuff, good stuff. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna hop right in. So I've got volumes 3 through 5, mainly about 3 through 5 through halfway through 5. Um, I wanted to maybe be all the way through 5, but oh boy, we'll just hop into it. So far, and I believe last week I was talking about it. We were only 2 volumes in last week of Mars Chronicle, and it was heavy, and it was kind of so left field kind of feeling that I'm having a harder time getting through it. Right, the art style is gorgeous and horrific, uh, as it tends to be, especially the later Alita stuff, and I don't know. It's no longer feeling so cyberpunky, which has kind of hurt it a bit, in my opinion. Still got those bits, but he's definitely changed the tone significantly with Mars Chronicle, significantly, and I think that's been my hurdle getting through these. The covers are always great. I love seeing his work in color. Um, Good stuff on that end. And again, the artwork's always pretty. He's been starting each chapter with a little bit more of a grayscale, maybe to give you more depth. Um, my other big problem so far is that I mean, the whole manga has had it had an eye towards cruelty, right? Because of what it's trying to communicate. Um, in Mars Chronicle, it's not just an eye on cruelty; it's basically the entire focus, and that's always really difficult for me. I want to have some fun, right? And these have not been fun reads. And I think that's also another reason why I'm having a hard time through these. It's wallowing in despair so hard. Um, that it's just like, why continue? It's trying to make you. It introduces I'm gonna call him a supervillain. It's the best way to put it. You've had villains throughout Battle Angel Alita, and it even had a one shot or two where it was kind of a supervillain, right? But since that was the world they lived in, it was the cyberpunk world. It felt grounded and it felt natural. So it wasn't like a supervillain. It was a villain that had superpowers, sure, but it was part of their world, right? It was the ground. It was grounded in that. This this guy's more of the schemer, kind of big idea, grandiose plan, kind of villain, and so he feels more of a supervillain to me. He's kind of a Doctor Doom or something. Not that good, but kind of that feeling. Um, and it's really trying hard to make you like him, at the same time making sure that you feel bad for liking him because of how shitty of a character he is, how evil, right? Um, and there's no light. Alita tended to have good in it. To It wasn't like this big thing and everything's going to end up well kind of good. There was good alongside this evil, and though it was very small, it existed and again was part of the world. There's just no good. There's a doctor at the beginning who's trying to take care of the little girls, right? I may have spoke about him the last two volumes, and very short, very little touch of it. And I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. Here's that supervillain. Oh, like, it's worth reading. I'm still hopeful that he's doing something with this, right? He's I spoke about it last time too. He has pulled this similar trick where it kind of goes off to the side on characters that, don't matter that much at the time. You're not that invested in, and then later on he integrates them and it makes sense. In Last Order, that was this clan of vampires, in particular one vampire woman. The fact that vampires came in threw me off from a loop, threw me for a loop, right? And that was 3 volumes. It was one of the omnibuses. We're now five, well, 4.5 again volumes in. I am anyway, and it's really focusing on Erica, who we've briefly met the adult version in Last Order in one of the volumes, and then it kind of brushes her off. And then in volume 2 of Mars Chronicle, current Alita, who you followed the whole journey of and you are invested in, um, you only see them for a volume. And then it moved right on to volume 3, and it's back to their childhood and a bunch of characters you're not all that invested in. It's building a history that you already kind of know doesn't matter. And I think that's one of the weakest points of the series so far, of Mars Chronicles so far, is he hasn't made you feel like any of it matters. To who Alita is currently and who you've been invested in this whole ride. And now you're starting from scratch with a baby Alita and a new character who's kind of taking, 2 new characters who are taking the new protagonist role. Alita's a side character, basically, and you get Erica, whose journey you're following much closer, at least so far in these up to 5. And the supervillain character. He's basically the protagonist in volume 4 and 5. He's the entire protagonist. And it's again, it's wallowing in cruelty. It's taking characters that I wasn't invested in and making them the main character, which he's done before, like I said, and it ended up working. But man, I have no idea. I have no idea. It bothers me so far, but so he's releasing Volume 7, at least in America. It should ship out the end of this month, and then I'll be completely caught up. I've got Volume 6 waiting to be read, and I'm reading Volume 5. Basically, everything I said describes this. If you've read Battle Angel Alita, you want to see where he's taking it, because her story did not end in Last Order, and Last Order was good, not as good as the original run. This isn't as so far, it isn't even as good as Last Order. And a lot of people have problems with Last Order because it used the Zot tournament, the Zenith of Things tournament, as a framing device, and it lasted forever. And people really had problems with that, and they talked about philosophy a lot during the combat and all that. A lot of people had problems with that. I did not. I got what he was going for. He was discussing ideas about identity and how to integrate it. He was discussing femininity versus masculinity. He was discussing logic versus emotion. He was discussing a lot of these dichotomies throughout the combat, and it still looked really pretty, and the ideas they made sense to what he had framed it all around and such. This, he's not proposing much. He's just wallowing in evil. And that really bothers me. So I'm hopeful that at least by volume 7 he's gotten out of this wallowing, because if he doesn't, then he's killing Alita and what the vibe is with her. And it's kind of painting Last Order, how it closed some of the storyline from the original run, in kind of a way that's like, okay, I'm done with this. I have nothing more to say with this. Let's just finish it kind of way. Instead of up to this point, I thought, okay, that's a decent finish. Let's see where he's going. And so far, he's going nowhere. Nowhere I want to go with him. And it's definitely not taking Alita anywhere so far. And that's, this is the title character, yet he's not focusing on it. Really, really bothersome. Volume 3 focuses on the supervillain kind of setting the ground, the little girls being separated and being put into different places, Erica being captured and such by him. Volume 4, and so far as I'm into Volume 5, it's his origin, the supervillain's origin. He's got mascotoma, which is a cancer that's growing a bunch of little mini brains and faces on him. I think that might be in this volume, actually. Let me see. Yeah, because he gets trapped with her and then shows her who he is. So it must be before this. Before that. And it's Erica turning into an evil bitch. My guess is the entire idea is to have her be so evil that when Alita finally reaches her, it's like this big deal. But like in the present time, grown up Erica and grown up Alita, one of the grown up Alitas, um, the important one, the one we've been following the whole time. Um, here's Mascotoma. Great horror iconography. The art is beautiful and it's not confusing. The panels flow well. The story flows well. It's just not a story I've come to be super into from reading the previous bits of the entire story, right? Um, so we'll see. We'll see. I've got the rest of 5 to read and then 6 and see if any of that, any of it, can redeem this so far. But it's harder to read because there's no carrot at the end of the stick so far. The only possible carrot is what I just said, Erica being redeemed, and I don't know if he's even going to do that. It might be volume 21 that he fucking redeems that, or, I don't know. I don't know. So 5, 6, and then eventually 7 will kind of tell me I'm going to finish it out. I have that investment fallacy or whatever. So I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna finish it, but I don't know. When I was talking about 1 and 2. 2 weeks ago, it felt like he had a billion ideas and he just wanted to show them all to you at once, and that was a problem. And that's kind of continues, right? It's kind of continuing, except he's focusing on ones that you have no huge reason to be invested in. It's a new story, just labeled with an old story, and the protagonist I've come to love. I want to see the journey. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing it's odd. It's really odd. Again, we'll see where he lands with it, but that kind of covers all 3 of these volumes so far, in an overall vibe. I can talk about specifics, but again, the artistry, the actual comic book part of it, it's great. It's beautiful um, expressions of the medium. Horrific in cases, but it's not the story I would hope it would be. And that's fine as long as it ends up being able to connect with the story I've known and loved eventually. And so far it's not. It's Alita in name and setting only. It's not in tone, in writing, in choices. It's just not there yet, or just not there, period. And I'm really hopeful there's a reason for that. Again, he's done this before, and he proved me wrong. So I'm hoping that's a thing. But yeah, I do. I mean, if you're as invested as I am in a leader, yeah, you're gonna keep reading, and I do recommend it. Because I'm curious how this mangaka is going to finish this, and I hope he fucking finishes it this time and doesn't keep pulling a Toriyama, where okay, fine, I'll do more. I wanted to finish it here, but we'll do another, because that's what these are starting to feel like. At least Toriyama, joy was always in it, even when he well, this joyless. It's beautiful, it's horrific, but it's joyless. Now, if you want pure joy, what we always review on what you read. And welcome, Global Frequency, especially if you're still here. I'm sorry I'm ignoring comments, but I keep with the flow, and the caffeine makes sure I stay on flow. Whether or not that's a good thing. Is this TikTok? No, I've never been on TikTok. I've seen it through social media osmosis, right? When shit showed up on Twitter or whatever. That's it. But the next reads, which again, we're always going to have 1 or 2 issues of this on here. Gru the Wanderer. Read Gru. I'm going to say that every time. I want more Gru. I want Sergio to get as much of it out before he, as we all do, move forward, right? And the main reason is because it's such a beautiful and fun expression of the medium. So this is issue 37, Gru the Wanderer. Uh, Basically, the premise of this one is he's hungry and he wants to go to a town to get food, but he realizes he has no copins, their money, and so he's going to trap some animals, get some pelts and furs. That's kind of the side story, however, because somebody overhears Gru is coming to town, and that's the main story. He runs to town and tells everybody that Gru's coming, and then it just incites a massive series of panics that destroy the whole town. And then Gru finally walks in after a few pages, right? It's a side story, it's a subplot where he's trying to catch things, and that's just extra comedic gold. But the entire time is just the town destroying itself over this idea that Gru's coming. That's fucking hilarious. It was another really good issue. Um, Again, usually these are in the dollar bin. Usually they're self-contained. Pick them up, support the work, even if it's just by putting your energy towards it and enjoying it and having some love for it. Um, and not everybody's gonna enjoy this lighthearted goofball stuff, but man, I need this dichotomy if I'm gonna get through stuff like that. Some people like the wallowing in cruelty, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's not integrated into reality, right? But me, I need the full spectrum, and I need the extremes to keep the widest perspective on the comics medium as possible. And the comics medium is fucking infinite, right? So, impossible task that I like to do my best on. Gru the Wanderer, absolutely wonderful. Issue 37, very much recommended. Uh, Super goofy, super goofy. And the fact that the main plot has only to do with Gru's name being mentioned and causing a massive panic, I think it was a genius idea for a plot. Um, just really shows how legendary Gru is, but he's legendary because uh, uh, he's people are terrified of him, and not even because he's evil. It's because he's terrible luck for everything around him. He's terribly lucky, but everything around him, it's almost like he drains the luck from things with his level of stupidity. And it's just, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And that was a great plot to express that. Number 40, Gru the Wanderer, number 40. The cover doesn't really sell it very well. I think the cover doesn't really sell the idea very well. Just him hugging Rafferto, which again, I'm a huge fan. Last week I talked about the issues, the two-parter that they introduced Rafferto in, and it's a great character that they introduced, and I'm so happy that it's an ongoing character. I can see why he stayed an ongoing character. Rafferto's great. Rafferto's bit is he thinks Gru's the best. He's basically the opposite of everyone else, right? Everybody hears Gru's name and they're like, oh god, something terrible's going to happen. Rafferto, he just sees people react to him or whatever and just thinks Gru's the greatest. It's a good another great comedic dichotomy. This one, still hungry. Gru and Rafferto are still hungry. Gru's looking for a way to make money, as usual. So he wants a job. He wanders into town and goes to a glass blower. And he thinks he's going to get a job from the guy. He breaks one of the glass things, and the guy says, okay, well, if you can get me another one of these, I think it was a carafe, then, yeah, you're hired. And so Gru, instead of connecting the dots that this place is a glass blower, it makes those things. He goes out searching, questing for another carafe. And he just keeps breaking them. He keeps finding them, doing all these odd jobs perfectly, literally shoveling shit at one point, chopping wood at one point, doing a bunch of odd jobs to get it, and he keeps getting these crafts and keeps breaking them. And then by the end, he finally figures out that, well, after breaking them and finally bringing one in whole, it's after like 6 or 7 attempts to get one, and then he gets one and breaks it, gets one and breaks it. He finally brings one in, And the guy's like, you took 6 months to get this done. You do not have a job. And he doesn't understand. And then it's revealed to the audience that the guy was making them, which you kind of already knew if you were looking at the place at all at the beginning, but it wasn't directly lined out so that you could kind of follow Gru's logic a little bit because Gru didn't notice either. But yeah, it was good. It wasn't. There was one moment with a dragon that was hilarious. There's a single panel where Gru's charging in to get a carafe from a witch, and she's guarded by a dragon, and it's like this. Basically, it was Gru saying a beast, something can only feel fear when they see something. So a stupid beast can only see fear or something, and then the dragon seeing Gru. Um, you know what? It's worth finding. Let's find that panel because it was the laugh out loud out of these two reads. There was a good, yeah, beautiful 14 panel page too, where it's just him asking if anybody has one of those glass carafes. Just wonderful panels, a big an Eskimo dragon, a whale, just some fun stuff. Where's the dragon? That's referred to pretending to be rabid to get Gru ahead in line for the job. That was pretty funny. But where's the dragon panel? I do want to communicate that. There it is. When one faces a mindless, dangerous beast, the normal being is paralyzed with fear. And so Gru's like, I'm super brave for charging this dragon. And then the dragon's like, I'm paralyzed with fear because it's seeing a mindless, dangerous beast. It's a fun. Man, I laughed at that panel so hard. Great, great panel. And again, my lighting system for sharing this stuff is terrible. But again, comedic timing is great. Neither of these issues used any of the ongoing jokes, which was kind of funny too. The slow of mind joke didn't return. Cheese dip didn't return. Um, but they both had the I have no money, let's find money setup. So there's some kind of sitcom kind of setups a little bit in these. It's starting to feel. But again, it allows them to be episodic, right? And that's great for me because I love being able to go from issue 37 to issue 40 and not have to worry. Um, but I still want to fill in my collection. I love these books. So yeah, that's what I read there with Gru. Always recommend picking Gru. You're going through your comic shop, you find some Gru, pick it up if you don't have it. You'll have fun with it. And again, I mean, it was $1 back then. I bet they're $1 now if you find them in the back bin. Usually self-contained again, totally worth it. Still reading Scott McCloud's Making Comics. Focused on tools. This last chapter that I read. Pens, desks, digital, just giving you all the options to make comics. Uh, Before that, some lettering stuff too. Um, you know, lettering by hand versus lettering digitally. A little bit on word bubbles. Um, Talked about backgrounds and types of rendering. Chapter before that. Um, it's good stuff. It's good stuff, and I'm glad I'm reading it so I understand some of the process that I'm not directly involved in, right? But again, it's a textbook. I've always had problems with textbooks. Whereas the last one was still kind of a textbook, but it had this flow and this passion and this love and this desire to communicate why he loves comics so much into it that I could feel. It was palpable. It just had me tear through understanding comics. This, like, you can tell he loves it, but he's trying to be a teacher. And again, I have problems with authority, right? A very cool teacher. I mean, he really nailed the bit and is like, none of this is the right way to do it. This is a set of ways that have worked for me and have worked for others. And I really appreciate that approach because this is art, right? However you get it done is the right way, as long as you're seeking to constantly improve. And I think that's what he's trying to communicate in here. And I really appreciate that. I couldn't get through this if he didn't have that edge to it. But yeah, I think I have like 2 chapters left, and then I'll be done with this, and I'll be happy to keep it and refer to it. And I mean, it does do one thing that's really nice. It makes me want to draw. Um, but I just don't have the patience. And I kind of doubt I have much of the talent either. But I do recommend this, particularly if you're an artist. I bet you'll tear right through this. Fucking A, right? And you'll know a bunch of it and refer to you and kind of reinforce your thoughts and maybe get you thinking a different way, get you thinking of rendering different things different ways. For an artist, this is probably incredible. For a writer, it had one chapter in there that was kind of interesting. That's the best way to put it, but it's presented with love and it's presented very thoughtfully. So still recommend it. I've talked about it probably the last 3 or 4 of these Whatcha readings, so it kind of tells you how long and how difficult it's been for me to get through, but getting there. And that kind of covers what I've read this week. Last week it was about 17 chapters or rounds of Hajime no Ippo. Still recommend that. I didn't read any more of it this week. I read Alita, trying to get through it, and just negativity up the wazoo. And like, I'm fine with that if it's going somewhere. And hasn't shown me where it's going except for the idea that we're going to redeem Erica, and he might not. And if he doesn't, then he's kind of dropping the ball. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll talk more about that as I continue Mars Chronicle. And pretty soon I'll stop talking about Mars Chronicle because I'm almost caught up, and we'll see where that lands. And that's what I've been reading this week. Last week I didn't talk about something that I was reading and really enjoyed because I'm hoping to do an actual comprehensive IronVerse Comics, maybe a quickie, maybe a little bit longer because it's so freaking good. But I only read it digitally, and I'm waiting for the physical to come in, and I just got notified that it's coming in, so I'm really excited for that. Um, and then there's 2 quickies I still owe, so maybe I'll get to those today. I'd love to. Today is really filled with stuff though, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that's what I've been reading. If you're here, you're still here, maybe. Let me know in chat what you've been reading this week. Otherwise, we'll make this a shorter one. Um, there's some update things I can talk about on IronVerse Comics, right? Um, but nothing so solid that like I would put it into print and publish it, right? And that's been about a month there, so bothersome. I was hoping, and maybe I do, that we have some info from. No, damn it. Yeah, no, nothing there. Um, we are almost done with fulfillment. We could be done with fulfillment. Fulfillment guys have not gotten back to me with a direct answer there. We had about 90 fucking orders that slipped through the cracks. I'm gonna say that we did catch up on, and we got that, and it's been communicated and paid for, right? So we should be good. International should be out. I just don't have direct confirmation that that is. Last I had heard, that was in motion and should have been done by last Friday. So we've been getting more and more orders coming in. I can share that. Let me go over here. 1 second. I need display capture on and standby off, and you'll see all this. Oh, nice. We actually got another global comics. We'll probably talk about that too before I finish, since we're here. But bookmarks, and you can look at my bookmarks. They're usually things I want to republish. Here we go. More issues in. If you're ever, if you're a fan of our work and you're watching this and you support our work, these small pictures and confirmation that you have received the work mean the world to me, because I'm not directly involved in that except for making sure that it is communicated, right? So it's just an extra level of grounding and comfort for me as the creator that you guys are actually getting these books finally. So stoked about that. And when they're good picks like this too, it's helpful. It's very helpful for promotion. I didn't even know he had that part too. The Carl O'Rowe 4 Horsemen pick poster. The posters are really nice. I finally got to see one in person. Yeah, finally got to see one in person. Yeah, we'll deal with that at some point. There's of course the Carl Rowe one that you maybe can see part of right there, but there's like five more, and I finally got to see the illustrator Monk in person. And when they're the printer I got, this is from the campaign before, so the printer I used this time, a little bit higher quality, the rendering's a little nicer. Um, so I was stoked to see that in person. Um, Anywho, when we see these, right? Another one. It makes me feel good. It's the right kind of stuff, um, and it helps very much with promotion, right? Um, so I really appreciate that. Ba, 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 ba. Dollar Coins is in chat, our wonderful co-editor at IronVerse Comics, and ooh, he's a little bit angry at me and coughing into his elbow. I did just see your message. I have nothing to say, but yeah, it happens. It happens. I needed the rest yesterday. I need some rest today, honestly, but too much to do today, so I'm here. Doing a little bit of updates, and then we talked about what you're reading already. So we're about there, I think. Unless Dollar Coins, you've been reading something you want us to talk about. Nobody else in chat has mentioned anything, so yeah, we might keep this at a little bit over a half hour. And that's fine. Again, kind of busy today, but I needed to do this before I am no longer on a day off. Because I usually don't have the freaking energy, right? Um, so, how it goes. So almost done with fulfillment. Hopefully done with fulfillment, but I'm not confirming anything till I've got the confirmation. Because last time we confirmed it a little early, and then wonderful Dollar Coins bugged me as he should, and I checked into it, and yeah, there were some problems as I spoke of. So we got that ironed out as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. So hopefully that is the truth. Um, but until I know for sure, I'm not putting it into print. Um, oh, that's cool. I guess I'll point you folks. You've been reading real books like Beekeeping for Beginners. Yeah, learning skills, right? That's the right thing to do. Me, closest was Scott McCloud. I haven't. What are the, I think the last real book I read was indeed Rebel Without a Crew, which Dollar Coins got me because it was actually really engaging. I've my buddy Laguna Muta, who does the music on this channel and does wonderful indie rock. Please check that out. Laguna Muta on YouTube, Laguna Muta just on Google, and you'll find places to check out his work. Please do. Um, that he got me Dune, right? And I have not been able to get into Dune. I don't want to say short attention span though. That's part of it. Hard time focusing. I guess that's kind of similar. Uh, I have a problem with prose because it takes too much time to communicate things. Unless it's really engaging. So like journal stuff, again, like Rebel Without a Crew, that engages me because it's short and quick and to the point. This is what I want to say next. It's not I gotta fill pages or I'm trying to paint a picture with how I'm choosing words or comics, word bubble and then the picture tells you the rest. Boom, quick. So I appreciate that. I have a hard time with reading prose books. Now, technical books, also. We were talking about that. Scott McCloud's Making Comics, very technical book, and it's actually a comic book, and I have problems with it. With reading it, I don't have problems with it. It's presented as best as I could ever hope for, but just it's a harder time. I say I have a problem with it being dry, but then I have a problem with it being overly flowery too. So it's how it goes. How it goes. Beekeeping for beginners, though, interesting. Um, that is something I probably could not do because I don't. I've had one bee sting in my life, and it was no fun. I don't think I could handle more. Uh, though it is a very useful and exceedingly valuable skill and talent that we do need more of out there, because bees ain't keeping themselves anymore. Not for shit, anyway. Not with the environment, how it's going. So, how it goes, how it goes. But that's a good skill to learn. Good skill to learn. I guess I could show you this, because this just showed up. I was showing the bookmarks, so I could show you the pictures of the books coming in, right? So, I'll show you this instead. Or not instead, also. Looks like we have a feature on Global Comics. Second feature takes a look at the most popular comics in Global Comics over the past year, and yeah, we're number one, which is surprising to me, but it was because of a viral set of Reddit posts and us being free and being good work. So we are still the most popular on that site, and there's a couple that are catching in. And that's included some big indie publishers that are hitting Global Comics. Heavy Metal hit Global Comics. Red 5 hit Global Comics. T-Pub hit Global Comics. AWA's been on there for a while. We've in fact, about as long as I have, and we outpace them because of that. And they even have a direct competing title called Redemption, which is a post-apocalyptic western. And on there, we're doing better than that. God, Red 5. Scout's not on there yet. They've been adding a bunch of indie publishers, and we're still doing really good. We're not the best per month. I don't even know if we're the best per 6 months, but we are currently all time and past year, which is fucking incredible. So I'm gonna read this feature, and I'm very curious what it is. But that's it. Gotta open a beekeeping business. I mean, honey is a good business. Honey's a good business. We need to start issue 4 ASAP. Issue 4 is started, per se. But we need to finish fulfillment. And I need to make sure the artist is actually going to put out work. And, I never had that problem before. But I'm not going to launch again without any work beforehand. And I have the money to pay for the work beforehand. He just needs to make time in his schedule, or I need to move to a different artist. So I haven't dealt with that yet. So I'll talk about issue 4 when issue 4 is there. The script has been sitting for a good amount of time. He said he's been looking at the script, and that's as far as things have gone, and I told him the time frame. So I got to get more aggressive on that angle, and I haven't yet. So we'll figure that out, dollar coins, all right? But it's not in the greatest footing right now, and I either need to make it good footing or move on to make it good footing. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, I can't really say much about issue 4. I've teased it a little bit. The framework is a very ancient story, and I'm excited to see it manifest. And I want it to manifest with the current guy. I even put all the cards on the table this last time. So I don't know. I don't fucking know. So we'll figure that out as I can. I mean, that's something, man. Dollar coins. I wouldn't be surprised. Let me. Again, you wanted to talk yesterday. Maybe we'll figure out an ability to talk today. And we'll figure out what the best foot forward is, because anything at this point is better than starting with nothing like I did with the hardcover and expecting, I'm doing this for a month. I gave him 2 months ahead. We'll definitely have the one piece of art I wanted, the cover before the end, and nope. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. He did seem to use your storyboards on issue 2, which was nice. Parts of them, not the entire thing. He did his own thing on a lot of the pages, but there were some parts he did certainly use. So it'd be useful and maybe enough to inspire him to get his gears moving. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Move things to exactly. Yeah, we're on the same page there. Don't start. I'm gonna start scratching, and I don't want to start scratching. I laid in some grass for hours on Tuesday, and so I'm covered in bug bites. but so I'm trying not to scratch. That's part of why I'm wearing long pants right now, even though it's really hot. Um, yeah, Tuesday was interesting. Tuesday was an interesting day. Wednesday was me recovering from the interesting day, and today I'm finally in some kind of grounding that I could be here enough to communicate this stuff and to talk to you folks. So appreciate being here. Um, if you folks have been reading anything, though, let me know. Let me know. I want to talk about it. We talked about the beekeeping a little bit. Great skill to have. I just can't read technical books. I'm going to take a look at this real quick just because I'm curious what kind of feature it is. They did upgrade the reading experience on Global Comics, so if you want to check out Jack 1 for free entirely and Jack 2, like 2/3 of it are free, um, please do. Um, I've earned the most digitally off of Global Comics, and I really appreciate the folks because they do things like what you're looking at right here, which promotes the work, and I really, really appreciate that. Um, yeah, it's kind of like what they do. So they have this formula where they just use that, and then they talk about how much is there, and then they present it. And it's cool. Um, some good stuff, but we're still on top. This one apparently is kicking some ass, and it's a manga. Um, well, manga inspired. I don't think it is actually a manga. Um, yeah, T-Pub. I was talking about them. So we'll see how things go. But it's basically what I think about. Go back over here. Go up here. Make a Zen garden. Again, don't have the patience. I can't even maintain a regular garden right now. Watering trees has been hard to get to the last couple weeks. I'm lucky it's been raining a lot. And I've done it. I've done it. I got the chickens out on Tuesday, which was nice too. Let them wander around the yard. That's hard to do. Um, Honestly, I've been having a really hard time, but I'm pushing through it as best I can. Uh, how it goes. How it goes. Uh, but yeah, that kind of covers everything I can think of. Fulfillment should be done. Not updating folks till I have somebody else's word to take as well as my own because I'm not hands on there. Oh, I've finally got the fucking stamps together for the first run of metal cards to go out. I've got printer ink that hopefully is here this week for a printer I have. So I can do, so I don't have to rely on my shitty handwriting for the addresses. Um, so as soon as I have all the pieces together there, that's maybe a full day of me just getting everything together and shooting it out. Today, when I go to town, I'm sending out the test of the metal card to Wicked, which they are also backed, so I'm fulfilling that end. But so we'll see if my plan of how I'm delivering these actually works through the mail system. I don't see why not, but I don't know. I don't mail. So this will be the first time I really mail anything. Um, so we'll see. So I'll talk to folks about that once it reaches them or comes back to me. Problem is I had to handwrite that one, so we'll see. Um, but things are falling into place. I still need to paint some figures, which means I need to find peaceful space where I can just sit and focus because I love painting. I do. It's been a very long time since I have. And this year, my mind's so chaotic with so many things to do that need to be done that I just have a really hard time focusing on any single thing that actually requires that level of focus to maintain. And man, painting's been that. I should have done it ASAP. I really should have because this year had enough on its plate that I didn't know was coming. But it is what it is. I've got the figure sitting. I've got extras. So I should manifest soon. Been seeing, at least saw another person, so I've seen at least two people working on the figures, which is really cool. I love seeing actual talents painting the figures. Because I'm going to do okay. I'm an okay tabletop painter. I'm not a great one. So we'll see how that goes. And now with the printer kind of set up, I could do a nice, like really well designed certificate of authenticity to go with them. So that'll be fun. I'll share that progress on GoGo once I make that up. And I am really excited to put issue 3 behind me because it's a beautiful issue. I love how it came out. The mechanics of getting it to folks, um, the campaign itself, all of that was an insane amount of work. Um, an insane amount of stumbles. So I'm excited to put that behind me and then integrate the lessons learned like we did with the 1 and 2 campaign and see if we can get 4 to you folks this year. Um, at least, well, early next year. I don't think there's any way we get it to you this year. I wanted to be pushing the hardcover, which would be being printed right now, and then probably shipping in August or September. Um, but that didn't happen, right? So I've been readjusting and just trying to feel out the grounding more and trying to find footing, and that's been tough. It's been tough, but we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. So we'll see how that goes. Did you pay the water bill? No, I have to get checks. Um, and that's the problem. I don't use checks, right? And that's the only way that this person's going to take the debt. So that take the money. So I've got to get checks. That's part of today's venture into town, I think. Go order checks at my bank and see when those come in, and then I will update the GoFundMe. I did shut down the GoFundMe. It can't take any more donations, and I updated that, I believe. And then I said the next update will be when it's paid off. So that's where we're at there. Um, all these little fucking things that aren't that hard, I just has not had the energy to get it done. Um, between work draining me and me being me draining me, right? So I got to have a breather Tuesday again, my first breather in years, basically. And then Wednesday I tried to kind of just stay off the social media and just kind of do what I needed to kind of relax. And today I'm back at the grind, so we'll see what I can get done. There's so much to get done around the house too. In fact, Tuesday, before I even took the breath, in fact, it was only a half a day of breath because the morning I took a buddy around town that I had fallen behind. He really needed to get to town, um, and then I had to patch the roof. So I did that, and then after patching the roof, I just so we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm just trying to rebuild, and it's tough. It's tough. What are the names of your chickens? They don't have names. My dad never lent that level, and were his. Me, I just have not had the emotional connection to them on that level. Again, Tuesday I did a little bit better with that. Um, and most, so two of them look. So there's two white ones, two what we call bandies, kind of black, gray, white patterning, two black ones. Okay, no, three white ones, two black ones. And the white's not just white, it's white, black, and gray, but it's mostly white. Two black ones, and then two of again, the bandies, which are kind of gray, white, black, almost boxes. I'll take pictures of them one of these days. Uh, but yeah, I haven't named them with that emotional connection. Um, there's lots of reasons for that. At some point, I need to find a way to be more invested. Um, but for now, making sure that they're maintained and that they mainly that they're maintained, and it should have more than that. They should have a bit of love and care, right? And again, Tuesday I was able to do that, but here and there I'm not so much. And naming's a good start, right? Though a lot of them look very much the same, so it'd be tough for me. I'd have to spend more time with them. Um, the kittens, that was like years ago. That was like 5 years ago. Um, None of them had names. It was some stray cats. We had a feral cat that landed on our property. We ended up naming Amber, and weren't gonna keep, and then I convinced to keep, and then we didn't keep, because my dad didn't want to keep any more animals. I wanted to keep one of the kittens too. Wasn't gonna happen. Um, so yeah, that was a mission, and I found everyone, including the mama homes. So I'm proud of that. Um, the video that he's talking about is on the channel. It's the video that was uploaded right before What You're Reading 7, I think. It's just a short little video of some kittens playing in the yard. Again, from like 5 years ago. Um, Standing on roofs are scary. Oh man, I'd rather stand on the edge of a roof than a lot of other places, to be honest. But I'm fine patching roofs. It's one of the skills I was able to learn from him, and I'm not great at it, especially when it requires a lot more work, to do it right than I'm usually willing to put in. Um, Luckily, it's not the actual house roof; it's the additions he added to it that aren't. We have an overhang, so we have this nice porch walk up to the door, all that. That keeps getting ripped up by the wind. Uh, I could tell my dad had that too. He was getting old when he put this thing together, so he cut some corners, and so I'm trying to make sure that those corners don't destroy the thing, and they won't. It's just basically I'm patching patches, and that's when you really need to rip it all up properly and relay it down and all that. I'm not there yet. Um, Chicken nugget, McChicken, KFC, and Poppy. I'm not going to eat any of them, even if they were to unfortunately pass. I'm not. I buy chicken at the store. I'm not going to slaughter them. They'll get a nice little burial, and I'll get to keep some feathers. Um, but I get it. It's funny. It's cute. Um, yeah, I don't know what I. Yeah, I have no idea what I'd even name them. No idea. You got water dripping through your room, so you need to go up and look. Oh yeah, if you've gotten that far, holy hell! I'm lucky. Our house, the problem main, or my house, the main problem is it's a manufactured home, right? So it was built in two halves and then put on here and put together and then patched together. Um, and then they put a good chunk of the interior in, all of that. And this must have been 2013 or something that this was put out here, and we got here 20. No, 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 no. I was 13 when we got out here, 12, 13. So that's in 16 years. So that would be 2005. So it was probably out here in 2003. Um, Somebody lived here for a good chunk before that. Anyway, it's the foundation. It's the foundation that I gotta worry, and the piping that I have to worry because they did most of the piping fucking level. So it's really easy to get clogs, and the wiring's not that great. There's a lot of little things my dad at least made sure I knew about. So I got to get back under the house. We've got another feral cat. So we've had three feral cats end up on our property because it's a nice piece. And there's a lot of, there's water, there's grass, there's animals, there's mice to kill. It's a good place to be. So I've got another feral cat which I would love to connect with. This gray puffball that's living under the house, and I'm a little worried it carved itself into the ventilation system to keep warm because it's been here at least a year. So it even wintered here at one point. I'm happy for it because it makes sure that the mice are driven away, which is good. But I'd like to connect with the critter, but I'm not sure how yet. So I'll figure that out too. Um, but yeah, it's the third feral cat. We also had this big fat orange Tom that showed up for a while, and man, he was a sweet cat. I was surprised because he was a big, chunky, muscular, fucking feral cat. And then once we caught him, and I was able to actually integrate with him, a super sweet cat rubbing on me. Just loved having a family, so I think he was dropped. I think he had like a family, and he either got lost or was dropped off. A lot of people just drop off animals in the mesa, and so. But found him a home too. But I don't know how that went. I hope it went well. Um, Nice guy, but the cat was probably terrified to be relocated again, especially with how sweet he's like. I found a home, right? Sorry, buddy, can't keep you. That's how it goes. So, Yeah, all kinds of things going on here. Um, I want to put the water bill behind me, especially since I have the cash. So I got to get a check, and I got to make sure that I can get that together because I would love to do a money order, but the places I do money orders probably won't take the amount of cash. Um, so I can put it all in one check or all in one money order, right? So I got to go get a check and get checks made, or maybe convince them to let me do it through PayPal would be great, but I don't know. I have no fucking clue. Just these little things, little mechanisms. There's so many of them I need to do. Bunch of trash I need to take to the fucking the dump. Um, I mean, I have wine bottles from my dad from last year, like 30 or 40 of them, which I wish we had glass recycling in this town, but we don't. So I got to take those to the dump. Uh, Endless maintenance. And all of it just weighs down on me, makes me not want to do any of it, and that's a bad way to take care of these things. So I'm working on bettering that. Bunch of winter coats that have been around forever that I don't use anymore. I got to get rid of those. My main goal, and one of the things I realized, and I've realized for a while, but really hit me hard on Tuesday was I need to simplify and minimize. I'm living in a mausoleum of two people's lives. Um, Three people's, including my own, right? Smaller section that's my own, but and I need to minimize that. It's weighing on me like fucking crazy, and I didn't really realize how much. It was there, but I didn't realize how much. And so there's a lot of things I need to push there. And there was time and time and time again on Tuesday that I was just like, you need to. So I don't know. I don't know. I love this place, and I'd like to keep it. It's a peaceful place. It's a comfortable place. It has love and care, um, and just unique creativity that's part of my life, part of my family, in it, right? So I don't want to get rid of it, but I need to make it my own at this point if I'm going to stay here. Otherwise, I need to get rid of it and find a place my own. It's too much weight, and it's just too many things. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Father's Day, when I got that bill, I put together his tools to sell, so that's a good step. I'm gonna get rid of that kind of stuff. I get rid of some of this trash. I get rid of coats. I get rid of clothes. Their room I need to tackle. I mean, there's a million fucking things on top of me that if I could simplify and breathe, I will be a happier, more productive person. So I'm working towards that. I'm working towards that. Post office money order. Yeah, that's how I would usually deal with these things, but I doubt they'll take $2,400 in one go. So I'd have to do like $200 10 times or something, and I don't want to do that. I just want to. So I need to get the chutzpah together to either convince them to take the payment a different way or just go order some fucking checks just so I have checks. I can order checks online too. I haven't sat and done that. I looked into it. That's as far as I took it. Um, I threw out like 80% of his junk and dad stuff in the alley. That's the point, dollar coins. I get you 100%. That's the bit. There's just so much of other. There's a lot I love here. There's a lot I would never move, right? But there's a lot in this space that I will never use and will just continue to sit and degrade and weigh down on me. And there's things I can do. Right now, I haven't finished the house, the legalities on the house, right? So it's not that fun. Um, and that also includes his vehicles, which are broken down, which I'd love to get the fuck out of here as well. Um, but I've gotta take that step by step. I'd love to get rid of the little things so I can pay and make sure I handle the big thing right. And then from there, I can choose to move or stay. And either way, I need to restart. I need a new beginning. And this was a new beginning, absolutely. A forceful one, but it's so buried in the old that it just can't grow. And I gotta dig myself out of that. So that's where my mental focus is, and that was one of the things Tuesday's journey helped me with. So I'll get there. I'll get there. And issue three, finishing issue three's fulfillment's a huge part of that as well. So moving forward, and just trying to tackle everything I've got. And there's a lot. There's a lot. See you next spring. We do this. I mean, if you can, man. That's the thing too. From the top down, I've been alone in all of these things, right? Even even with my mom's passing, my dad felt alone in it, but then he also kind of pushed it on me to kind of have any kind of finality to it, and he couldn't find a finality to it before he passed, which means I was left with his finality and her finality. And Tuesday, I was able to have a personal finality with that. But now there's the mechanism, right? There's the actual physicality and the realistic, the mechanism, the machine that needs to be recalibrated and cleaned and maintained. That has just been, I don't want to use the word rotting, degrading's a little bit better, because it's not festering, right? It's still a beautiful machine. It's just old, and it won't work for me anymore because it's gone. It's done. So I need to find a way to build a new machine. Hopefully using a lot of the parts I have, right? But I'll find out. I'll find out. I really do. My friends and stuff here, they respect my distance, and I've built a distance, to be honest. But there certainly is a I have a hard time doing that, and all of it's on me, and it's so much weight that I'm just like, well, maybe I can tackle a piece of it. And then there's the day-to-day maintenance that I have a really hard time because I'm a mess. Just naturally, I'm a mess. I've got bouncing everywhere, so that leaves you with tables like this and rooms like mine, which is kind of eh. And then I've now taken out to the other rooms, and for good reasons, but you know, still trying to live up to their standards of that too, to honor their shit. And at some point I have to say, yeah, their standards were important. It's a good lesson to learn, and it's something that I can continue to work towards. But at the end of the day, it's my standard that'll allow me to function. So I'm trying to work that way as well. So that's not this extra guilt weight on top of just trying to maintain things. Whole lot of shit I was able to work out on Tuesday, but work towards is better term because it's not working out. I haven't integrated it quite yet, but yeah, we'll see. But pushing forward. Chill with cat, elbow cuff. Boy, I kicked that door down. I really need to integrate it. I have two spare bedrooms now. One of them really needs to be maintained. Again, bunch of shit that just needs to be gone, sold, hopefully, gifted if I have to. Um, I need to scrape this place down to the bare bones. That's mostly me and the stuff I can't live without. The really important stuff. So that guilt weight of maintenance isn't holding me down. Simplification is a big one. It's a big one, so that it doesn't look so unconquerable. But anyway, yeah, we'll talk here at Dollar Coins. We'll figure something out one way or another. But I figured out some more and got a little bit of a fire under my ass, so I'm hoping that'll help push me forward. Uh, I gotta go shopping today. I'm gonna try and hit the bank for some checks. I've got, I believe, Demon Hunter Raven and Clayman at the post office, so I'm excited to pick that up. Um, well, that's mostly the town stuff I have to do. I don't have to do much else. Shopping, I fucking hate. I am so done with people, man. I love you folks, I do, but the last 2 years have brought me to a point. I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine being a hermit. As little big interactions with crowds as possible. But I need to get better about that too, because you limit potential by doing that. And again, I need more chaotic potential in my life. Um, Hopefully for good, but whatever, basically just more experience. Ah, that'd be lovely. That'd be lovely. That was another thought too. I'm in no mental or physical position to actually honor the partnership that I desire, right? And so I need to get to that point. Otherwise, I will be alone. I'm getting older as well. That was a big one. Um, uh, in fact, that was a massive one. There's only so much time. I've been coming to that for months, right? But there really is. There's not much time. Not much time left. And I could have 50 years, I could have 60 years, or I could have 5 more minutes. I don't fucking know. But 50 or 60 years isn't enough time to get everything done. So, got to work harder. Uh, uh, yeah, man. There was a lot Tuesday. There was a lot Tuesday. And I was very blessed to have the opportunity to communicate with reality on that level on Tuesday, but fuck ton of weight to it. Fuck ton of weight to it. Beautiful weight. But and shit I've been dealing with. So I'm very glad I had that opportunity. Um, Tips hat. Yeah, bingo. The gloves. I'm. I need to stop living in a mausoleum. Best way to put it. And I need to take a bunch of small steps to do that because I keep looking at it as a single entity, and that entity is way too much to bear. Way too much. So chunk it, and I've been trying to, but I had a harder time disassembling it and seeing it piece by piece. I'm getting there. It just takes a lot to get me to that perspective from another. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see. That should cover everything. I know we're talking about. It's good to talk about life here and there. This is honestly, it's a vlog series. This entire channel's been a vlog series in one way or another. It's just framed in other ways, right? So appreciate you folks sticking with me and watching it here and there. It's a little bit of self-care, a little bit of self-care. So it's not always the most engaging content, but I appreciate it, and I think there's a certain amount of bravery that to put it out there, right? So I'm trying to make sure I do it enough that I realize, you've got that. It's a good footing to have, even if it doesn't resonate with a bunch of people or it doesn't, take off. In fact, I'm kind of glad it doesn't because that's even more weight, right? But I would like it to eventually when I'm ready to carry that weight. And I need to prepare myself to carry that weight. You need to train, you need to work, right? And my framing of how to do that. Most of my framing comes from, well, if you can't do it now, you can't do it, and that's a lie. That's a lie. You need to train up to do it, and again, focus and discipline and repetition and drive. All of these things are things I need to get a handle on again, because I've had them. I wouldn't be here if I didn't, but it slipped a little bit. And another big one is fun. I have a hard time framing any of this in fun anymore, and that's not cool. This is really fun. It's a beautiful thing to be able to do. So, yeah. Hopefully I won't fall back into the same patterns that Tuesday kicked my ass out of a little bit. Um, Very hopeful about that. Very hopeful about that. Um, uh, I mean, I take Gohan at this point. Uh, but Goku's a lot. He has fun though. He's got a smile. He enjoys what he's doing even when it's the end of the world, right? So you're very much right there. Master Roshi thinks he hit his peak, uh, and so he just kind of sits there. But it is his peak. Everything that he surrounds himself with, the pupils, his friends, his family, were things he's earned. Um, and I think that's part of my footing. I need to find. Uh, is a bit more of my own personal footing to take pride in. But okay, cold coffee. Reed's talked about. I didn't talk about these on a per volume really basis because it's not a per volume basis that's telling this thing. It's focused on a damn supervillain instead of Alita, and it focused on Erica being raised by a damn supervillain, which I get it if you're trying to build up Erica for a redemption, but I don't fucking know if he is. He might be building her up for a continued downfall, and I'm curious there, but curious. I'm not engaged, enjoying it. I don't want to jump through the next chapter because I'm wallowing through literal evil pig shit to get there. And it's beautifully rendered. It's paced fine. The actual work and artistry doesn't get in the way. The tone and the choices do. And breaks my heart a little bit. Because, like, if this is where he is mentally, as what I've read before, I feel bad for the creator, if I'm honest. Like I wallow in darkness in my own work, but my idea is to contrast the hope, contrast the light, and show the beauty of being able to push through it. We've seen Alita and who she becomes, but she forgot all of this. She didn't push through it. It just didn't exist for her for a while. And then she reintegrates it in Last Order, and we're slowly showing what she reintegrated. But now she's kind of a new character, so you're starting over, and we're not seeing enough of her pushing through it. We just know that she has it, and here is it. So I guess you know that the world was shaped by this supervillain, right? In her life, it's 300 years in the past. Um, you know that she was a cyborg. So far, I know she was she's basically just a fucking head since she was like 3 years old. A head on a cyborg body, a really cheap one at the beginning. So I haven't seen how that happened. I'm sure he wants to dive into how she became a headless kid, or not a bodiless child. But and I really love this story. It's just become something I don't love, and that bothers me. But I want to push through it and see where it goes. Again, making comics, if you draw something, it's a wonderful resource, and I really think artists should look through it. It's good for me to understand artistry and how much work it is. It is an insane amount of work. I am blessed to work with people willing to focus and put this much heart into their work. Writing, I try to, but I do not put that much artistry into it. Not even close. And then Grew's fun. I need the uplift and the fun, otherwise I'm not going to get anywhere. And again, last week was Hajime no Ippo 17, up to chapter round 17, so I was proud to read those, and that's a very inspirational work, and it's fun. So I recommend that as well. But that's what I've been reading. Dollar Coins read a book on beekeeping, or is reading a book on beekeeping. It's really good. Um, nice angry cheat. That would help. That would help. I mean, she gets the most powerful man possibly in the universe to work a tractor. He's not very good at it because he's relatively dumb as a stone. But I mean, she gets to wrangle him. And I mean, that's a fun love story too from Dragon Ball. That whole arc. Finding her, or her instantly falling for him, and then her fighting for him in a tournament, and then him like, oh, okay, and then slowly falling in love with her out of just being Goku. That was a good arc in Dragon Ball. That's a really good arc, the Chi-Chi arc. That's a good romance arc because it's different than almost all of them. There's no will they, won't they kind of playfulness, right? No, it's very direct and it's very fun and it's a good romance arc. Yeah, I do $2 coins. Alita movie. It's worth it. It's worth seeing for sure. It sums up like the first, God, 5 arcs of Alita Battle Angel, something like that, relatively succinctly. It hits enough of the notes, right? Rodriguez did really good trying to direct it like a James Cameron film, but still having his vibe to it. Um, I mean, it inspired me to read it, and then once I read it, I was blown away, right? And that's really good. That's really good for one of those movies. Again, it misses a lot of the subtleties, it misses a lot of the message, but it hits everything it needs to. Um, yeah. And I've tried to watch the old FMV or whatever you fucking call it, AMV, something like that. I forgot what they call it. The original anime. That's like two 30-minute, 35-minute shorts. I'm gonna call them. The art style is beautiful. It's literally straight from the manga. The art style. I love seeing that. It is Kishiro's fucking art, basically. I love seeing when they're able to do that. But yeah, Toriyama, they did that with Dragon Ball series too. I love when they're able to do that with the anime. Sometimes they aren't. They'd go for like a cleaner look. But that one, they went straight for it. Looks great. Haven't been able to finish it, and it's only about an hour and 10 minutes or something, right? So yeah, um, camera HD looks good on mobile. This good. It was a relatively cheap camera, and I'm hoping it does its job. It does for me, and it's all it needs to do, right? I'm hoping my I don't know if my vocals are lining up how they should. I worked hard to get them to. I'm gonna have to watch it back and then tweak it. What I was doing for a while was doing the day I tried to get it to line up right. I'd have to record about 10 seconds or whatever, and then try and match it. In 10 seconds, try and match it. The delay, right? The audio reaches you quicker than the video. So I've tried. I'm hoping it does because I speak with a lot of hand gestures and a lot of facial gestures, and if they don't line up, it's unique, but it's not how I can communicate with you properly. So I'm hoping that is working as well. Only off by a millisecond or two is my hope, but I don't know. I have not been producing as much video content as I once did, and most of the time it was just audio, so I didn't have to worry about the sync so much. Now I have to worry about the sync, so I'll check again today after I do a bunch of other shit, alright? Alright, so this coffee is cold, and maybe has a tiny bug in it. That's fun. Is that a tiny bug? I don't know what that is, but it's not coffee. That's fun. So, I'm done with that. Uh, I guess the last thing I'll do is a little bit of shilling, even though these aren't really usually watched afterwards. And most people who do watch them are already fans of our work. But it's good practice. So check us out on Global Comics. You can read issue 1 for free. They just updated their reading experience to be way more competitive with other digital hosting sites. And again, I really like these folks. I actually directly know the creators and maintainers of the site, and I am so proud to be on their site because of their drive and their passion for the work. And go here. Jack Iron Steel Cowboy, wickedpublishing.net. Get them sold out of these because they just ordered new proofs of the new exclusive redesign of the covers. So that'd be great to see. And then we can get the physical number 2s, and then we should have number 3s out hopefully next month for you guys to just grab off the web store, $5 a piece. And then you'll have the introductory trilogy. For a few dollars more, my fistful of dollars, my few dollars more, and my Good, Bad, and the Ugly. And I'm really hoping folks enjoy that. That is the introductory trilogy. Folks pick all 3 of those up for like the $15 plus whatever is shipping, maybe $20. You get the 3 comics shipped to you would be my guess. That's how you can dive into our universe the best, unless you're a digital reader, in which case you can already start. I know Cactus Coyote has massive, Mr. Dollar Coins has massive plans for Cactus Coyote, so I'm excited to see that come to fruition as well. And then you'll have 2 titles in the IronVerse Comics universe to engage and hopefully find your footing and then support, if you would. My necklace is not crocodile. It is bear. It is a bear canine. Uh, I don't have a reptile. I have a megalodon tooth back there. Yeah, that's the closest I have to a reptile. Oh, I do have reptile parts. Can you see that on this camera? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I need to go over here. Okay, so you see a bighorn sheepskin right there. Above that is a 6 foot, what Californians call gopher snake, but what we call it here a bull snake hide. And then I used to have, but I guess that's somewhere else. I used to have an old python skin hanging here somewhere too. And then there's another bull snake skin out in my dad's my shop. Um, but that's the closest I have to reptile parts. Um, it was neat. I got to see another a baby bull snake on a dog walk at work, sunning itself. I love bull snakes. They're such beautiful creatures. Um, really gentle. They're constrictors. So that's the only thing you got to be careful with them. They don't have any poison. They don't have anything like that. They actually are genetically immune to rattlesnake poison, so they eat rattlers. So it's always good to see those guys around because that means there's less rattlers. But they also eat mice and bugs, things like that. And they can get massive. Um, I had one for years as a pet. We feed mice and just hang out with it. That's the skin we have up there, actually. Beautiful creature. Kept it with us when it passed. Um, oh, there's also a rainbow turtle shell somewhere in here. We had a water turtle for a while. Um, it didn't make it. It just was not the environment for it. Half that stuff on the wall? Nope. All of it has sentimental value. Piece of your artwork. Uh, Hopefully I can get a better version, but this is the print. Still, the only 1117 print I have dollar coins is the one that you bought from issue two's campaign that you sent me. Uh, so until I get a replacement for that, that's staying. The Laguna prints are staying. The you can't see it, but the Brian Andre or Brianne Andre piece is right there that you gave me. Also, the original piece of artwork of Cactus Coyote. Daredevil Fall from Grace, which is a terrible run, uh, or Daredevil, but I had the poster. That's above there. Um, this Iron Maiden stuff could probably go. These old drawings could probably go that you can't see. Speed Demon there, which you also can't see. You can see the bottom half. Could probably move. That's the Amalgam comic, a Ghost Rider and Flash. Dreamcatcher there. Uh, this is a playmat I painted a long time ago that I like the painting. I like the texture and everything, but it ain't pretty, but I like it. I like how it came out. The bighorn sheep thing ain't going anywhere. I mean, it can move, but it ain't going anywhere. Very important to me. Uh, then behind that is a bunch of Rags comics, which don't have to stay on the wall, but I like them. Behind that is a bunch of albums I taped together to kind of make a poster. That could probably move. That's really it. Yeah, the Rags could move, and that's a big chunk of it. But the rest of it, nope. Fall from Grace poster could probably move too if it had to. That's it. And man, if you saw the rest of this room, I got shit all over the walls. I really like the mosaic I did. That's of Marvel Comics over to the right that you guys can't see. I mean, I like my room, but it's got a fuck ton of heavy energy in it. I spent so much time in here, right? I mean, I felt it. It's a lot of heavy energy. Um, you can see the Iron Maiden thing behind me there. Can you see? No, that's an old mirror. Above that is a badger, a skin badger head. A piece of work from my mom's biological father, which I don't think you see as a cowboy. Yeah, it's the RO is covering it on the stream here. Above that's a pheasant. Wings of a pheasant, really pretty. I mean, this room's packed. There's some things that can move, but a lot of it is part of the studio currently, so it's what's gonna be. What's gonna be. Uh, half that stuff, or make a cool den where you can smoke cigars. This is my cool den, where I don't do tobacco, but now that it's legal in New Mexico as of the 26th, I don't mind having my smoking utensil stuff out here. That's been part of my culture for a long time. Relaxing, getting rid of some anxiety, and such. So yeah, that's been nice that I don't have to do that under the table since like the 26th of June or something like that. So that's nice. So I do smoke in here. um, this is my den. It would be nice to move into the more master bedroom, right? That's the thing I got to feel out though. There's some energy there. I mean, he passed on the bed in there, and my mom, though she didn't pass on that bed, her journey passed on that. So I want to get rid of all that shit too, if I'm honest. The mattress, the frame, maybe make that into something else, some other kind of room, or something when I feel that's tackling their bedroom. That's the big one. Her clothes, his clothes that I'm not currently like having. Like this is his overshirt. Fucking love a lot of his shirts, but otherwise, there's a lot of stuff in there that could move on, right? A lot of weight I don't need to maintain. We'll we'll buy frames for your posters. We'll burn it. I mean, that's a way to go about it, no question. The mattress in particular, I don't think we could get rid of. It's except for taking it by the dump, because it is used is the best way to put it. It is very well used. Some of the blankets on there though are like handmade by my grandma, so keep some of the quilts and things. Um, but like his shoes and shit, nice pair of boots, too big for me. Um, little things like that. Little things like that. She had a bunch of shoes that I got rid of some of them, but they're still just sitting in the closet. There's a lot of feminine overshirts. Um, my dad, what he did is he packed a lot of the stuff into boxes, right? So we got a lot of those boxes I could take to like Goodwill. I just haven't. Um, so many dishes because what happened was in 2015, my grandmother passed, or 2014, my grandmother passed in that like March of 2014. Um, and then my mom passed in March of 2015. So she barely had time to deal with her mother's stuff. So I ended up with a lot of my grandma's stuff too. That was just too much, right? Interesting life. Very grateful for it. That was another thing. I have an unbelievable amount of gratitude for who I am, where I'm at, the experiences I've been through, the people I've met. But I can't wallow in it. I use the word wallow a lot because a lot of it's negative, right? You're staying in one place and enjoying it, but it's not a good place, right? So, God, I wish that didn't. Fuck it. Just don't drink the bug. Yeah, Salvation Army. We have a place called the CAV, the Center, the Community Against Violence. That's our equivalent. That's here. Um, though they're a little bit more militant, believe it or not, than a place called the Salvation Army. Community Against Violence is a little got really good parts and some but we've got a couple places. There's the Dream Tree Project here, which is for underprivileged youth. There's Habitat for Humanity, which folks should probably know, the Jimmy Carter thing that builds houses, but they also take thrift stuff and sell things and all that. They're a relatively good organization. Um, I just again, and that's one day at a time. You can do that, and then it's over. Um, but I have trouble looking at it piecemeal. I look at it all as one thing, and that's not great. But yeah, things like that would be great to be able to do. It'd be great to be able to do. And there's a bunch of my shit that can go too. Honestly, I have a bunch of junk that just sits here. So Craigslist and those kind of things would be great. Big cool barn fire. I actually have a burn barrel, is what we do in the background for most of the paper products. Um, a lot of cardboard we end up burning again because my town only recycles aluminum. So I can take the cans to the recycler, but I can't take the glass and I can't take the cardboard, um, which is annoying. It bothers me. But at least we have a recycler. At least we have something. I mean, I could take a trip down to Santa Fe. I think is the nearest glass recycler, and I've been to that recycler a few times. But that's an hour and 45-minute drive to drop off recycling stuff. I need other things to do in Santa Fe, and the last thing I did in Santa Fe was pick up this computer and pick up a very important ring and ceramic flower that I had given my ex the last Valentine's Day, and the ring in particular was unbelievably important to my mom. And God, there's a lot of ways to phrase this. When she became my ex, there was a lot of complicated feelings in that, which returning those things, getting them back, helped solve. And so that was the last trip I did was to pick up this and to pick up those things. So I haven't been to Santa Fe for fucking ever. It's a fun little town though. Um, it's like the bonsai tree in Karate Kid. Imagine how you want to see it in cut. Yeah, an image you're comfortable with in your head. Yeah, that's the thing. I need to figure that out here. I think there's a lot of things I can minimize that'll actually make me more productive. Uh, and live cleaner, which would make me more productive, right? I'm wallowing in items. I'm gonna keep using that word because that's what I'm doing. Uh, wallowing in things, and I need room to breathe, and I think I have been smothered. Um, and allowed myself to be smothered in things. And again, only so much time, right? And I've got more potential than to be smothered. So I think that was one of the big things again on Tuesday is that was communicated to me is that I need to breathe. Um, and I think that's the move that needs to be made. Uh, so yeah, I think that kind of covers a lot of personal, but that was the other chatting part of this what you're reading. Because the what you're reading, it's kind of basic. I'm gonna have a lot to say that's very similar with this Mars Chronicle, unless it fucking pivots. Um, Again, Volume 7's coming out at the end of this month. I've got it pre-ordered, so once I have that, I'll be caught up. And then I can definitively kind of say where it's been up to this point and what I think. But Mars Chronicle, not that fun of a read. Gru's always a fun read. I'm happy to pick up a Gru every time. Um, Hajime no Ippo's been great. I really like the anime up to where I read it, so I'm excited to finish reading it. Finish reading. I don't think I'll get 1,400 chapters in, but to keep reading it, to get past where the anime is, I'm excited. Because again, the pacing and dollar coins communicated this to me. The manga, you can read it quicker, and you'll get more of the original intent. And he is so very much right. So I'll be getting through that as I can. Uh, I was reading Calvin and Hobbes last week. I'll probably start another volume of that soon because it's another heartwarming, intelligent, very quick read that you don't have to dedicate yourself to get anywhere. Uh, what other things do I have planned to read? Well, I'm gonna read the Clayman books, hopefully pretty soon. Um, Hopefully I pick them up today. Um, do I have anything else planned to read? No. And once I catch up on Alita, I may start it from the beginning and do an analysis volume by volume. Um, and we'll see how that goes. Life-wise, hopefully I can clear this clutter. And if I do, hopefully that gives me room to breathe and grow. Because I think that is what's happened, honestly, is I'm stuck with all these things I want to respect that it seems so fucking overwhelming that I just don't move. And again, what was communicated to me, I need to fucking move. Um, make a move. And it was kind of any move. Just like do something. Because you're strangling yourself. I think that's where I'm at. So I'm hoping that'll move. But otherwise, um, I'm hoping to get. I've said this for like 3, 4 weeks in a row that I'm hoping to get more IronVerse quickies done. I just haven't had that. Again, I've been feeling so smothered that I just haven't had creative energy. Um, so we'll see if that changes. We'll see if that changes if I can somehow make room. Uh, in fact, I might take some shit to the dump today. It's only noon. Maybe. Maybe. Um, piece by piece, that's the thing. Uh, so we'll see. The other thing is too is I've gotten to a point where I can't even go to town without my pup coming with me. I've gotten so anxious. Now I've done it. I've done it twice, 3 times since my dad passed, but without Alita. But most of the time she's got to come with me and sit in the truck and stuff. So I try and make it quick. And that's just slightly an excuse not to get a bunch done, right? So I try to get through that as well. So we'll see. We'll see. As things kind of get closer to fall, um, things will cool off and it'll be easier for me to spend a whole day doing things. But even then, I can do better. I can do better. So I think I covered what you're reading. I covered some updates. I covered some vlogging life stuff. Um, I hope the next couple updates are progress, right? I hope the next update I'm able to give you folks says fulfillment is complete on the books and that the cards are on their way and I know that they will get to you. I hope the next update I've had at least one picture, one figure painted. I hope the next update I'll have some more other kinds of progress, life progress for you folks. Because again, I've been kind of stuck. I've been stuck since January, and things are moving again. And if I can get it moving enough that it's a perpetual machine, I think I'll be in a better place. I hope the next update I can talk about issue number 4 beginning in one form or another. Um, Besides the script just sitting there. So, dollar coins, I'm going to get you that script. Again, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. It's the same Scott McCloud book, Eliza Barr. It's so difficult to get through from my perspective. It's a textbook done with the most respect and artistry that I think it could be handled with, but it's a fucking textbook, and I am terrible at textbooks. Always have been. And so that's why it's still there. That is why it's still there. But I did talk about it earlier. Talked about Alita Mars Chronicle being not an Alita book really anymore. It is, but it's so far removed, and the protagonists have switched from Alita to 2 other characters. One in particular that they really want you to enjoy, but it's evil, and it's just the tone has become so drastically dark and consistently dark with no positivity in it at all that it's just kind of like So yeah, and then I've got 2 Gru books out again, and so we spoke about the Gru as well, and that's it. I haven't gotten to Golgo 13. I've had the movie up for a few days, trying to get into that. I got 5 minutes into it and moved on. If I don't have ADD, I certainly have a terrible ability to focus on things. I did find a place to read Golgo 13, and I did start it, but there was 2 starts. There was one where a caravan carrying weapons or something through Iran is like the first 2 pages or something. And then there's another one where it's him in his hotel looking stoic. And I think the one in a hotel room is the actual beginning. But that's as far as I got. Is like I read a little bit of both of those starts and I didn't know which one was the start. So I just kind of
But the artistry is really cool. I really like the artist style. The fact that Aki T had commented that he fucking does it all with a thick marker and dries it with his cigarette butts. There's a vibe to Go-Go 13 that I'd really like to just dive into, and I haven't. I just haven't. So when I can, I'm hoping to. There are two. Okay, the one that I have up, and I have up still, is the one that's on Amazon Prime, The Professional from 1983. That's the one I've got uh, on this. I'm almost done with the Scott McCloud book too. I think I only have two more chapters, and then I can put it behind me, and then only pick it up when I need inspiration. It still inspires me to want to draw like a small cartoon strip myself, just so I have that to it. And dollar coins, your artwork, what you're able to accomplish, really inspires me as well. So I'm trying to maybe get in a vibe where I draw again, but that's you saw all the other things I'm trying. I mean, that's what I've been talking about probably for the last half hour is all the other things. So adding more weight on top of that, I don't know, but it's doing its job to inspire me on the medium. It's just it's a rough read, man. Yeah, but anyway, Go 13, the professional. That's the one I have out right now. And those are the reads we talked about today. And then we talked about a lot of life stuff, some heavy stuff, and a little bit about Tuesday, um, and the breather that it became after I did a bunch of work in the morning. Um, but otherwise, is there anything else? We talked about updates on the campaign a little bit, which isn't since none of them are final. I'm not directly addressing it. I'm hoping later today I hear back from Wicked about where we're at 100%, and then I'll just update whether it's complete or not. Because it's been nearly a month, and I tried to do weekly updates, but the last month or so I had like a chance to update, and it would have been wrong, and I'm glad I didn't. Because it would have been an incorrect update, and folks would have been wondering, well, you said the books had shipped. Where are they? And it turned out there was about 90 orders that hadn't gone out yet. And so hopefully those actually were taken care of last week, but I haven't heard. So we'll see. We'll see. And I'm hoping the international folks start getting them, if not this week, next week. And then I'll kind of have an idea of where we're at. Um, there's an anime as well from 10 years ago that's super stoic and was awesome. Oh, okay, I'll have to find that because I think tackling it more piecemeal might be easier for me. But again, the character design's kind of basic, but I love the art style that he did with it. And so I watched the opening of the Go 13, the professional movie, right? And I love that he's sniping a guy with what looks like a carbine, a like a classic American AR-15 or M16 probably at that time, carbine. I thought that was pretty neat, sniping a guy as he gets off a plane, right? I thought that was pretty cool, but I didn't follow through with it. I didn't follow through with it, so it takes a lot for a piece of art to grab me enough to focus and stay through it. And sometimes the piece of art can do it. I just don't give it enough time. It is what it is. It's my attention span. I can and should do better. Um, but cool. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. And yeah, no rush, Eliza Bar, on your issue 3 thoughts. Whenever, if ever, you want to do that. I don't want to feel like I'm pushing you on that. I'm just curious. I've gotten one person who kind of dove into number 3, which was nice to hear. Then when I released the digital, I got another person who spoke a little bit about it. Um, but I'm not getting enough feedback to understand how it landed, right? And that's important to me, but it's also not guaranteed, right? Um, so I don't know. I just wanted to mention that I'm not trying to push you on that. It could be a year from now I hear about it, but I'd like to hear your thoughts. And I'm so fucking happy it finally got to you. Oh my god, that's the thing. I'm just glad you got it. Um, Otherwise, though, yeah, I think that kind of covers everything I needed to and wanted to talk about today. Let me see, 20 plus. Are these available for purchase? If so, when? It's probably not for me, yeah. The posters. Oh, that's good. I'll talk to him about that. Rosetta Girl cover. That's neat. Let's see. That's nice. I did show people my libraries or anything like out of nowhere. Do I follow that? Top Cow. Oh yeah, Top Cow is also on Global Comics. Okay, that's what all these notifications are about. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Yes, I'm gonna have to answer that in a minute. Okay, cool. Well, I can. There you go. Directly, Wicked got back to me. Um, bum, 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 bum. They finished all the number three onlys, which included the secret perks that folks got that were just number three. Uh, but they still have to send out steel packages, which are the metallic print and the well, whatever you ordered. It could be just number three, or it could have been one through three. But that was the higher tier. And then there was the Cowboys, of course, which are part of the steel. It's basically the steel, except for I also send you a figure. And it looks like the international has not gone out. But will be going out this weekend, which they say they have the store bundles, which are five of each issue, one of each print, and a sticker. Those should be going out also. Cool. So we have an idea. So this weekend we should be finishing fulfillment. So I'll update folks today where we're at. Good. I just have solid word on something. So great. Great, 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 great. Is there any line art or only on this show? Uh, Cody will draw once again. Yeah, I don't draw. I'm not an artist on that level. If you wanted to see me draw some really cruddy stuff, I maybe could set that up one of these days. But no. And this is a love seat. It loves you. But yeah, no, it's me talking about today. What you're reading is I showed these stuff earlier, and there's a little bit of line art through the manga, right? And I showed a specific panel of Gru I really liked. Um, but no, I don't draw, so you can't expect too much of that. I'm happy to show line art from previous issues if people are interested on something else. But yeah, I don't draw myself, so I don't have that kind of setup. I'm a writer, marketer, editor, um, hopefully personality that deals with IronVerse Comics, that pushes that forward. But the line art, nope, nope, I'm not there. I'm not there. So I do apologize there. You're a well-known stick figure maestro. That's about the best I can do. Like my perspective is terrible. I can do front head on in kind of a style. Um, and I've done like directly sideways, but like any kind of third dimensional pitch that's not direct, nah. At best, I can hope to aspire to be that really simple cartoonist level, and that's where I'm thinking if I want to draw again. I think I need to put less pressure on myself and do something simple and repeatable and something still engaging, right? So cartoonist is what I'm more reaching for. If I can come up with the setup and the basis for what I want to do there, enough that inspires me to do it again and again. I've had a couple ideas that so we'll see. We'll see. But I am plotting that way, just for the hell of it. I got my scanner printer back up. That's what I'm waiting for the metal cards, and we'll see. I think I can do it. It would be traditional. I don't have the digital stuff, so it'd be very interesting to try. But yeah, I do apologize, Lionart, if you came here for line art. If you're still here, I'll show you a piece of my line art and then show you what it spawned. I am very happy to do that. And even if you're not still here, that's what I'll do, just so I can get some catharsis myself. So, up, issue one. It's funny. Where my filing system for the last few years. It's funny because my stuff is in the original Maxi stuff. Uh, just because it was all one thing at that point. So I'll show you. This is my line art, and it's actually me inking over my pencils. So that's see, like, again, the third dimension, the collar's not great. I'm terrible at hats. I can't do a cowboy hat for shit. The face is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. It has character to it, right? Um, Keeping the arms in perspective, terrible. Anatomy, I'm terrible at. Uh, but this eventually became something worthwhile, so I'm happy with that. Um, I'm glad somebody else did a better logo, because, again, I'm terrible. Um, I guess I don't mind showing you that, but we'll go into here. So that became not that. That's not the first one he did. This is the first one. This is what got him the gig right here. Um, so this was the original design. You'll notice if you read the books, the trench coat became more of a tailing cape because I think that was easier on Maxi. Though I really like this. I'm a huge fan of that. And this is his work, God, 6 years ago. So it's changed a bit, but I like that. I like that a lot. And we ended up sticking with that. But what I mean is you don't see his eyes anymore for shit. We stuck with that, which I really like. It adds that extra cartoon layer that allows people to identify with the character a little bit easier, which is really important for Jack. And it was something that Max came up with, and I think is fucking amazing, if I'm honest. So anyway, that was the start of it between me and him, and then we went. And this was the next one where he's kind of refining it, getting a little bit closer. I've shown these before. There's in the layouts you can see the original page 3, which became the page that kind of sold the series to folks. That's page 3 reworked. I want the original page 3. I think it's here when he's doing layouts. Yeah, so that's the original page 3, which was cool. Which is cool. In fact, he ended up reusing this shot in issue 3, which is kind of cool. He just flipped it. Um, in fact, I just noticed that. That's funny. But yeah, he ended up reusing this panel, but the rest of it he changed up. He changed this, he changed that, and it became, it became when he was actually laying it out, he wanted something more dynamic, and so he did this, and he was able to communicate everything I needed to in 2 panels instead of 3, and just such a good artist, such a good artist. So. Yeah, there's some line art. There's some line art. Jackie to diet. He also got fat. This is true. Maxie made Jack Irons fat, and that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, so there's a little bit of preview stuff for the hell of it. Kind of covers everything there. Bum. We are at an hour and a half now. All right, last time I checked, we were at half an hour. So I'm kind of glad I got another hour. Try to keep these between that unless I've got a lot to talk about. The thing we talked about the most was my life situation. So that's fun. But it's content. It's content. First half hour, however, is the title of the series, What You Reading. I do it weekly. I hope to do it every Wednesday, except for days where I do it on a Tuesday or I do it on a Thursday. Likely not going to be Tuesday anymore, so it's probably going to be Wednesday or Thursday, just because I've now got another gig that hopefully is consistently on Tuesday, which is nice because I needed the cash. And I also got a raise on that gig, so we'll see. But yeah, so I'll see you next week. I'm happy to continue this if there's another topic to talk about, but line art was it, and I showed some line art. Again, what I'd like to do, man, it's just so much patience. I couldn't maybe do. So another inspiration. I got followed by Flork. If people are aware of his work, got followed by Flork on Twitter, so I started seeing more and more, and it's such a simple but powerful way of cartooning that he does. So he does some really like dark stuff, but he'll do very sweet and wholesome stuff too. And it's just like a sock puppet, really simple design. So that was super inspiring. Like the guy doesn't draw, he communicates, and drawing happens to be the medium, and he doesn't put too much focus on hyper detail, right? It's all about character and tone and what's being said. So that was really inspiring. So between that, Scott McCloud kind of talking about how you can draw, and then Dollar Coin's excellent designs and how he can render. I mean, I'm inspired to want to try and do, a simple 4-panel, 3-panel comic strip, but pff, no idea. No idea. But maybe, maybe. Um, it would be neat. It would be neat. But I need a hook. I need a character that I can continuously engage with, and I need a premise that I like. And one of them I came up with. Um, there's another I'm thinking about that might be fun, but I still haven't hit what could keep me driven on that end. But it'd be nice to. It'd be nice to. But maybe when I have more breathing room and everything else, it'll come to me. We'll see. But I think that'll cover it. I'm Cody with IronVerse Comics. This has been What You're Reading and Other Chatting. Quite a bit of other chatting. And I'll catch you on that rusty IronVerse Comics trail. You folks take care. Thank you so much. Do all the YouTube stuff. Do all the Twitch stuff if you would, please. I do want this place to grow. We're at about 260 and change subs on YouTube, which is amazing for me and this kind of content, right? Twitch, I think we're still working. I think we're at 15, which is kind of nice. But it would be nice to get a little bit further. I'd love to hit all the important monetization marks. Um, but that's fine. Main thing I would want to hit is an audience. So the more it spreads around, hopefully the more likely that could happen. And I'll just keep at the grind. This is the place to find me and talk to me if you enjoy our work. So here I am. Thank you for being here with me. Catch you later. You folks take care. And again, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And, catch you later.